Rock and roll Odie. Okay, Odie joins us. Rock and roll daddy. Hey, what's going on, Bob Squad? Thanks for joining me again in the hardest part of the ring. I'm with my 22-pound Tower Golden Chihuahua Power Daddy. Oh, and before you, 22-pound Chihuahua, he's a mix. He's not just a morbidly obese Chihuahua. It's not like he's struggling for his paws to reach the floor like a 300-year-old tortoise at the zoo that's seen all the civil wars and can't talk about it. I love you, Will Man. You're a Will Man. You want to join me for wrestling review? Okay. So what are we going to talk about? Yes, I know, silly. We're talking about the Night of the Champions. I think it's just Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia, June 27th, 2026. He's going to distract me so much just by existing because he's the cutest Will Man. What are we talking about? Wrestling. WWE. I got a notebook. All right, it's red for usual Raw reviews. Sorry I skipped the Raw review last week. I was under the weather. I didn't want to be on camera, so I did an audio only, and 15 minutes of my 20 minutes in audio got disappeared. So I just had to throw in the towel. All right, I threw it in. This was on the ESPN Select Network, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okie dokie. So you should know that. So I watched this in the morning, and I got IHOP International House of Pancakes. But you international viewers should know that because the house is international. And whatever. We start the show with a package from Triple H. Triple H shoves his package in our face. He does a voiceover to guys exercising. And then Yeet enters. And then Oba enters, and they're going to have their finals of the Coder or King of the Ring contest there. Right. Something about it. The crowd's active. The crowd is alive. They're very excited. This is so much better than those first couple of Saudi Arabia things in 2018 and 19, where no one's watching and the princes are just running back and forth constantly and taking selfies, and it sucks ass. But yeah, the last several have been good. But be that as it may, Jey Uso looked good physically here. He looked a little leaner. The arena didn't look quite as big as it has in the past. I don't know if this is one of those makeshift ones like they did for the Royal Rumble or whatever the case. Probably isn't a makeshift one, because if it was, they would have showed us endless packages about it, because like we care. Jey Uso, he does 3 dives to the outside, but I think on the third one he caught an elbow. And Obafemi gives him a shoulder breaker. I love this. He gives him a shoulder breaker, but the lazy way to do it is you pick a guy up on your right shoulder and drop his right shoulder on your right leg. But in wrestling, at least in American pro wrestling, you always work the left. So Oba made sure to tuck Jay's head off to the side so that he dumps Jay's left shoulder on his right knee to continue working the left. And it looks better too. It just looks cooler. But so I just want to make that point about the shoulder breaker. Okay, lost move. We don't do it enough. How much you gonna break a guy's shoulder? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Do you know why you feel me? Because you know what I'm saying. Anyway, they do wrestling maneuvers to one another, and eventually Oba hits his finish just the one time. 1, 2, 3. Oba is victorious. And they did this for both the King and Queens of the Rings matches, where the winner speaks afterwards, and there's a mini ceremony where they get the crown. I don't know if Oba's speaking was really necessary. He didn't really say much. He just said he's going to come after either Roman Reigns or, I guess, whoever wins the triple threat of Cody, Sammy, Gunther. But there's really he's the ruler, and he ruled. Jay was like, okay, that's... Didn't need to say all that. It doesn't, kind of waste of time. But anyway, oh no, I'm going to sniffle, sorry. Okay, now I feel better. Liv Morgan and Io Sky now are also in the quarter, the King of the Queen of the Ring contest. But before that, we get Danhausen. Yay, Danhausen! It's his first time in Saudi Arabia, but he's interrupted by Liv Morgan's Trouble music, and he briefly dances to her Trouble music. So she slaps him. She slaps Danhausen because he owes Dominic and Judgment Day McDonough money. And how does he return the slap? He curses Liv Morgan, which kind of gives away the finish. But it's just so ridiculous that gives away a finish. But it sure does. And Io Sky, she is the genius of the sky. That's like saying I'm the genius of the Hanson. Anyway. Anyway, she sells her knee a whole bunch, but thank God the finish involves aerial maneuvers. Now this was fine, nothing wrong with it. Io wins with a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. How about that? The curse worked, and it gives Danhausen something to do. I guess Danhausen is going to be on Raw a bit more, in some fashion. Was it the night before, or was it a Night of Champions, or the SmackDown before, where Danhausen's had The Miz and Kit Wilson like zombified? But it's really hard to explain because they got electrocuted, and now Zack Ryder's helping him win a tag match against the two handsome guys. Whatever. So Io Sky, same thing, Queen of the Ring, and I think we were talking here a few weeks ago. Yes, so she beat the champion in the Queen of the Ring finals because Liv, the champion, was trying to win it so she wouldn't have to wrestle or challenge Rhea Ripley, which I didn't really get. But anyway, Io wins, and now she has a win over Liv, and she's going to challenge Liv Morgan again. Run it back, as the kids say, at the SummerSlam. There's a package of Cody, Sammy, and Gunther. We see their package is, but the cage lowers, so we're not doing that match now. We're doing Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker inside of a steel cage. Seth enters, and they put the noise-o-meter up. I put a frowny face next to this. Seth throws a bunch of furniture and nonsense into the ring, where I'm already like, this is gonna. It's like you're watching the weapons have their match, and the guys are inconsequential. It just doesn't. I wanted to see Seth and Braun in a cage have a cage match, and yeah. Anyway, Braun Breaker shows up, does the same thing. The weapons slow everything down, especially with. I wrote in a star, this is Seth's match, and this is what I mean. It's not just because it's a more modern style and I'm old and blah blah blah. It's that every single weapon. Not just setting it up, but Seth has to do the 2000 teens Vince McMahon style of stare at that weapon for a year and a half, and you're gonna make the faces at it before you hit a guy. It just gets like, it's so over dramatic. I understand it's a dramatic business, but come on, guys. It takes forever. And it just didn't really work well with Braun. Braun was trying to wrestle Seth's match, and I don't know. I had trouble. I wanted to like this so bad, and I had trouble with it. I like Seth's regular matches. That's why I was happy. Just Seth in just the cage, but nothing else was appealing to me. But this is, I don't know. There's a big superplex through a table. Seth gives the big superplex off the cage through a table to Braun. But Braun comes up with the cut over his left eye or temple or eyebrow. I think it was more the eyebrow, really close to the eye. It was just scary. But he ends up bleeding a whole lot, and he looks like a monster. And it's not even just the standard wrestling one straight cut and the blood comes down, and you're like, okay, but no, it was just like one half of his face, and that just looked, it looked real, which because it was real, so that's how you do it. Big spear, the 1-2 kick out. Braun goes to the door. I don't know if the announcers missed this, or this is what I thought they were going for. Seth has Braun in a sleeper as they're sticking their heads out the door. Braun slams the door shut. On Seth, but on himself too. And I thought Braun was giving himself the hit just to take Seth off of him. Or maybe he was just trying to lean so that Seth would only take the... But either way, it looked like Braun just pulled it into both of them, and I just thought the announcers left it alone. And I thought that would have been a cool talking point. They didn't. They were probably plugging DoorDash or something. Braun misses a spear, goes to a table. I think there's a pedigree. Seth eventually wins this with a pedigree off the second rope. Not a pedigree, I'm sorry, a stomp. A stomp off the second rope. Braun kicks out of the regular one, and Seth does the big super stomp, and 1, 2, 3, and now they say Seth has put the vision behind him. Just to try to hammer home, we're promising you this feud is over. Even if we're lying, we're promising you. So I don't know if this is a reason for the vision to start breaking, because it's getting kind of silly. There's 3 guys, and only 2 of them are healthy, but the biggest star, Logan Paul, of course, is the one who's hurt, but Braun's the biggest rising star. I don't know. Someone on the internet said, does this stomp, the big super stomp the breaker out of Braun, and he could just be Braun Steiner? That's interesting. I kind of, I snickered for a second. Hungry? Why snicker at things? But then I thought for a second, it might not be a bad idea. U.S. Championship, Ricky Saints and Trick Williams had this match, and they did wrestling maneuvers, and Trick Williams defeated him with some finishing maneuver, Ricky Saints. So I haven't been watching too much of this on SmackDown, so I wasn't as invested in that. But I like both guys. Lil Yachty got thrown out. Ricky Saints did something sneaky, pretending that he got hit with the cane or something. Lil Yachty has his own kendo stick wrapped in gold or something, which is silly because the match before it was a cage match with like 8 kendo sticks. But I don't think they needed kendo sticks in that cage or the chairs, honestly. But whatever. Lil Yachty gets kicked out due to Saints' shenanigans, and eventually Lil Yachty returns after Trick wins, and he hits a people's elbow on Ricky Saints, which is really dumb. The Rock has nothing to do with this, but anyway, Lil Yachty hits the ropes terrible. Okay, there's no oomph. I don't know. Look bad. Learn to hit the ropes, Lil Yachty. I don't think it matters much. That match is over. Gunther is standing under a scaffold, and Jade Cargill is walking. Tiffany Stratton, the Women's U.S. Championship, she's also walking. And then Jade enters the arena, so she's done walking backstage. Now she's walking to the ring as you would. She's got her minions, but the minions get thwarted by Chelsea. Oh, I should say that Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton are wrestling one another. Tiffany's defending the blah, 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 the U.S. thing. Okay, the minions get run off by Chelsea, but Chelsea's in trouble. Charlotte Flair shows up out of nowhere and hits Jade with the belt. The referee turns around. Tiffany does a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Both women's matches tonight were won with moonsaults. Necessary. Which one was selling? Io was the one who was selling her knee during a match. So did Io have to win with her finish? I guess so, but I don't know. And Jade Cargill did get hit over the wig with a belt, so did she have to get moonsaulted? I don't know. I'm just saying, there's 2 women's matches, same finish. Pardon me. Sami Zayn enters. It is always his hometown. I'm sorry, I'm a little grumpy. It's always his hometown. He's in Montreal, he's in Saudi Arabia, he's in Florida, where it's all their hometowns nowadays. It's always Sami Zayn's, yay, Sami Zayn, and he's wearing the garb of the Muslim garb, the gimmicks and the things. Sorry, I don't know if that's the best way to phrase that. So they go banana, and I think that before he stopped refusing to go, he would always win in Saudi Arabia when he'd wear the gear. So I don't know. I should have taken that as a sign, because no championships have changed yet. What happened? This is a good 3-way. It was 3 guys who were professional and you did see guys off to the side, but I don't think they stayed down for an absurdly long time as a lot of these 3-ways. There was one wide shot where we saw Cody doing it, and they didn't stay in that wide shot long, so that's why they're so good, their production. They did have to expose a little, unfortunately, but they exposed as little as they possibly could. So that was all good. Sami Zayn, he did the swiftest, most smoothest, quickest sunset flip bomb on Gunther. I think Gunther went for the power bomb, and Sami kind of rode over his head and did that sunset power bomb with everything. Yeah, to both of them, that was beautiful. I had a tough one with this one before we get to the finish. I don't know why. Something happened. My handwriting's sloppy. This happened a day ago. Something with a table. I don't know. Some big maneuver. Someone went through a table. Why did I... Yeah, I'm ruining the show right now. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway. Sami wins this thing with a roll-up. It's the last match, by the way. Sami wins this bad. Cody goes for his finish. I'll back up. There were a few times where they would do the story where Cody hits a finish on Gunther. Sami pulls out the ref. And Sami hit a finish on Gunther. Cody pulled out the ref. So this match ended up being a lot more about Cody and Sami than Cody and Gunther. Or even Sami and Gunther. It's just worth noting. Who went through a table? I think, Gunther got power bombed Cody through a table. It was one of those second attempts where it doesn't move the first time and it's way more painful, I bet. So he got him through that second time. So there's stories to be told that Gunther did all the softening up of Cody. But Cody eventually does make a comeback and go for a crossroads on Sami. Sami drops down and just rolls him up in like a victory roll type of deal. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is the world champion. How do I feel about this? I haven't been as big on Sami. I was watching this match go, and I think Sami needs to lose this and go away for a while. Is actually what I was thinking, that he wins the big one. He's been good at it. I just kind of feel like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of him on TV in recent years, and it's been a lot of repetitive. It's a lot of long, flowery speeches. And it definitely worked better when he was a heel. As a babyface is when I was starting to turn on him, but I guess that was the point because everybody else did too. I don't know what the end game is. I thought the easy WWE finish is Cody pins Sami and Gunther gets even more mad, and we go to some bigger Cody-Gunther match, and Cody will just win it at SummerSlam again, and we move on. Is what I thought the paint by numbers finish. That's what the paint by numbers finish, I think, is, you know, in AI written WWE nowadays. And I kind of thought they were going to do that and just keep it all status quo, but they did not. So kudos to them for at least surprising us. It surprised me. I didn't see it coming. Everyone on the internet claims they saw it coming right after it happened. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't know. Part of me feels that the Sami Zayn championship victory it feels like it's more for the locker room. They seem to be thrilled, and that's great, but I don't get it. Can't imagine it would be a particularly long title reign, kind of like when Yeet won it like a year and a half ago. How long could it really... He's a guy to beat. Does Cody beat him again? Cody's won it the 3 times now, hasn't it? 3? Is it 3? Or I don't know, he won. He beat, who was he beating? Good old Cody. He's beating Roman, Cena, and Drew. Where the hell is Drew McIntyre? Where's CM Punk? I want to know. That's Night of Champions. Tomorrow I'll watch Raw. Hopefully I get it up the same day. Hopefully at my age I get it up at all. Isn't that funny? I made an erection joke. Odie, my friend. I'm so sorry, my friend. I love you. He's my special man. You're a special man, Mr. Odie. Mr. Odie. Okay. That's the hardest part of the ring. I'm not going to sing the song because he will be annoyed by the time I'm halfway through with it. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.